everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy eclipse. I just tried to stream from another device. I'm streaming from just YouTube. I've been having technical difficulties. I probably need to work some shit out before I try to stream on multiple platforms. But just going to do YouTube today, and then we will see how it all goes. All right. Love you all. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all having a good eclipse. This has been a doozy. It's been a doozy. I don't know if you guys are feeling it. Been a hell of a doozy for me. I was doing a little homework today. Usually I just like to check out the chart and kind of like just, intuitively get the hits as I come along and channel what I feel. Today I did a little bit of studying to kind of just look at what the heck is going on in the planets right now. Restream. I have no idea. I don't know how to do any technical shit. So YouTube is it. That's all we're doing today. God help me. Okay, I'm going to talk about this lunar eclipse that we had going down this morning at 4:18 a.m. Pacific time. I'm wondering how you guys all are doing. You're welcome to say hello in the chat section. Tell me what's going on, how you've been feeling, how things are going. Because for me, this has been a hell of a doozy. It's so crazy though, because usually with eclipses, like I'll feel kind of like angsty and like, I don't know, crazy. And especially the day of, I'm usually like, but today I woke up and I was like, I got the best night's sleep I've had in weeks last night. I felt so well rested. I was like, man, I'm feeling amazing today. I felt in the flow. I'm making a podcast. I got shit on the burner. I'm like, I don't know, something happened. Something aligned for me today. And I was like, ding, okay, let's do this. Let's move forward. I feel like we are just in such a crazy time, Hey, Hey, Liz. Hey, all my ladies are here. Yes. Missy, Liz, yay. How are you guys doing on this eclipse? Just curious. Are you feeling it? How you feeling? Liz, you're about to pop, aren't you? Anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit how what's been going on with y'all's, how you are feeling, and in this new era that we're currently in this, like the frequencies have shifted in 2021, that we are operating on a new frequency now. And I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes I'm like, it's like the embedded old energies of the past are trying to come in and rear their head. And like, I kind of sometimes I'll find myself falling back a little bit, but it feels so weird. Oh, Missy says calm and collected. That's how I feel. I feel really, really chill. I feel really chill today. But yeah, I feel like up until this eclipse, up until today, I've been feeling like, oh man, it's like wavering in energy. Some days I'll feel like I have totally new energy. Liz says, well, I'm supposed to have a baby any minute, was hoping the full moon would help entice her. Let's just send Liz some baby juju. Maybe she'll come right on the eclipse. She'll be a powerful ass queen that she is. But yeah, anyway, so these new frequencies have been just like, I've been feeling like most of the time really uplifted, but then sometimes just like exhausted because the old world is trying to come in, it's trying to come back in, and it's trying to reestablish itself, and it's trying to, reestablish its old way. And when I get into those modes of like kind of, it's literally, we've moved to a higher vibration. We've moved, if you guys are sensitive and you're going with the flow, we have attuned to a higher vibration now. And so, when I find myself getting in any kind of a fear space or a scarcity mindset, or just what the old paradigm really used to keep us in its colonial order, of hierarchy in order to work for these people at the top. It's like sometimes I would get stuck in these fear minds and these fear energies and these fear loops. And then I'm just like, blah, 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 wait a second, that's not the reality. That's not the truth. I don't feel that is the way forward anymore. And what this is creating more and more and more and more as this fear body is like just dropping, dissolving, dissipating, releasing, shifting, dying, is that there's just like literally more and more and more and more freedom. Like I feel like, it's like it's literally like the energy of the phoenix. It's literally like, oh, if I don't have anything to fear, then I can fucking do anything. If I don't have anything, if my security and my stability actually comes from within and not from some outside source, then that means I really have true freedom. Freedom! And that's, it's just funny because in 2021, that's what it seems to come back for me again and again and again is freedom. Like I keep talking about freedom. And it's funny because I find myself being like, freedom, it's all about freedom, like an American, old school American, just give me my freedom, give me my gun. It's not freedom like that. It's not freedom like, hey, you do this, I have power over you, freedom with my gun, and I'm going to do what I want, but I really am going to just tell you what to do because I got guns. No, it's not that kind of freedom. It's the freedom from fear. It's the freedom from allowing outside sources, from diminishing my light so that outside sources have power over me. Because only when people have power over us, when we project our energy onto them, then we diminish ourselves. And that's when we're in fear, right? Now that I'm taking my energy back, I'm starting to take it back and I'm not allowing these fear bodies to creep in. It's like I'm like, freedom, man. Oh, this is what they're talking about when they're talking about freedom. This is actually what freedom means. It means freedom from fear. Freedom from fear. Who are we as human beings on this planet if we are free from fear? Okay, I'm not saying I'm perfect. There's like some deeply it's like old school, like cell energy that I'm working with. But like, I have really been questioning my fears and letting them drop, dissolve, die. And something new is emerging. And that is really what I think that no more. Yes, Missy, yes. That is really what I think that this eclipse is about. It's these, we are coming into stabilizing and working in and working with and creating a stronger foundational frequency of this new era. What does that mean? It means we're operating at a higher vibration, right? So we cannot carry the same fear body that we were carrying before. When I talk about 1111 attunement, this is what 1111 attunement means. It means starting to operate on more of a cosmic level, meaning we're starting to operate and identify with our cosmic energy, our eternal selves, our spiritual being energies, right? Before, we were really in the tribe mind, the human mind, this reactivity, this fear body, this control mechanism, all this shit. We are going through a massive spiritual awakening right now at this time on planet Earth. This is why I am here. This is probably, since you're watching this is probably why you are here on this planet at this time. This is it, you guys. And I don't know about you, but when COVID first started, I swear to God, when it first started, I mean, it was a shit fucking year, right? but when it first started, I had this deep feeling. I was like, this is why I was born. Oh yeah, I came to this planet for this time, because this is a sacred time, you guys. This is a sacred time where literally parts of us are dying, parts of us are dissolving, parts of us are releasing, and we're helping to elevate the energies of the entire planet. So everything I'm talking about right here, if you are vibing with what I'm saying, that means that you are part of this 1111 energy. You are part of this cosmic vibration, new vibration, cosmic vibration. That is what 1111 means. I'm just starting to own my 1111 lineage. I was born at 1111 universal time, and I feel a very strong connection with that vibration. Basically, 1111 is it's the energy of attunement. It's literally like channels, right? Two pillars, Ping, right? Ping. So we're starting to release the fear body, our attachment to this materiality, our attachment to this scarcity mindset, this old school hierarchical patriarchal models that keep us really, really dimmed and keep us fear-based and keep our vibration lower. We're starting to release that and starting to rise, and we're starting to operate at a higher frequency. As we start to realize and tune into the truth being that energy, all matter comes from energy. And as we shift our energy, our focus, and work on our deeply embedded beliefs and begin to question them and allow them to dissolve the things that we really actually don't believe in anymore. Because there's a lot of things that I just don't believe in anymore. You know what I mean? Things that used to really hold me by the neck, hold me down. And like, they were fears that I couldn't get out of. And now I just don't have that same fear body anymore. And I'm just my wings are starting to open and I'm starting to be able to fly. If you feel this way, if you vibe, give it to me. Let's hear it. I want to talk about the chart of the moment. I want to talk about this eclipse. I want to talk about what you all are feeling and what I have been feeling. So what happened on this eclipse? I was looking at the chart. I was actually studying it. And the two massive things that we have going on this eclipse right now. So this eclipse was a full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. What's Liz? Yes, Liz is vibing for sure. Yes, sister. I love this. So good to see you here, Liz. I love you. Sagittarius, the eclipse happened at 5 degrees Sagittarius. Sagittarius is, you're a Sagittarius, Liz. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. It's a mutable fire sign. It is the energy of the sage, the philosopher, the traveler, the orator, the person that is developing all of their, constantly seeking, constantly growing, constantly wanting to evolve and shift and grow their spiritual knowledge. There's a high energy. It's the 9th house. It rules the 9th house. There's this high vibing spiritual energy that is coming into this full moon. And it's opposing the sun in Gemini. So every sign in the zodiac, right? It has an opposition because it's on a circle, right? Everything's on a circle. So the opposing sign, because that's what happens on a full moon, you have the lunar eclipse, and the eclipse is the moon is being eclipsed by the shadow of the earth. Don't ask me. You know what I mean. You know what an eclipse is. Anyway, so the sun is currently at 5 degrees, exactly opposing the moon, right? So it's 5 degrees Gemini. Gemini, it's kind of like, it's very connected to Sagittarius. Hey, Lisa, so amazing to see you, Chase. You're looking beautiful and hearing your wisdom. Yay, thank you. Melissa says, I have a humorous take on all that fear. It seems so silly now. Hey, Marsha, I've never met you, but welcome. Welcome, ladies. It's so wonderful to have you all here. This makes me so happy. I'm feeling some new emergent energy. So it's great that you all are here and we're all together doing this and just vibing and grounding in this new energy. It really feels good to me to have community, for us all to start really vibing on this new frequency, start really, really grounding in it, knowing its truth, grounding in its truth, grounding in its reality, so that it can become the new ethos of our lives. So that when and if we go out, as things begin to open up, as life begins to restart itself, we don't go back into those old fear body mechanisms and we stay in this new high vibe frequency. Of course, we're not perfect, right? And there's going to be an instability throughout 2021 of stabilizing these new frequencies. But the more that we can all meet and the more that we can all vibe, the more that we can kind of come together and really, like, I almost feel like a pulsing of this energy where we're all like, yes, 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 right? We're grounding it. We're grounding it for the planet. We're grounding it for ourselves. We're grounding it for the planet. We are creating the new frequency, right? So, okay, I was in the middle of talking about the eclipse. So we have the sun in Sag, we have the moon in Gemini, right? Moon in Sag, sun in Gemini. I'm dyslexic. So the Gemini energy is a channel. It's ruled by Mercury. It's it's much more of an earthly energy. Sag is more of it's a transpersonal. It's ruled by a transpersonal planet. It's more of a spiritual, expansive energy. Gemini is very earthly. It's like the messenger, communicating, small travel from here to there, channels, relaying information, right? And so how are these two connected? What's also happening is that the sun, the North Node is conjunct the sun. I'm going to tell you what all this means. North Node in astrology is connected to our destiny, where we are collectively moving into, that is a little bit awkward, that's a little bit uncomfortable, but we need to lean into in order to evolve. That is conjunct the sun. So we also have two other planets in Gemini. So we have this massive stellium concentration of energy in Gemini opposing the moon in Sagittarius, right? What does this all mean? It means, I'll just tell you how it's working through me, and maybe you guys can tell me how it's working through you, because usually whatever's going on with me, that's why I don't try to study these too much, because I'm like, oh, what's just actually going on? Because we're all channels, right? And I woke up this morning just feeling so ready to communicate. I was like, I feel this new energy evolving that's what Gemini is. It's literally like the microphone. It's like speaking, broadcasting, communicating, but not just on YouTube, right? To your friends, to your neighbors, to anybody, but it's communicating the energies of the new world and the new world frequency. So how are you interacting with these new frequencies that are starting to come in? Are you talking about them? Are you talking about how we're kind of living in amongst a new awakened world order? Yeah, it seems kind of weird, right? To people who are not totally attuned to it, or a little bit, in soul sleep. But the more we start to talk about it, broadcast, communicate, allow ourselves to be channels, that's all that I've really been doing in the past month. Really, I'm just surrendering to the energy that is the channeled energy, that is the truth of my being. And I'm starting to own it. I'm starting to allow it, because I never felt, for whatever reason, that I was allowed to have that, or allowed to be that, or allowed to express that. Why, I fucking don't know, right? Like who makes it so that, you know what I mean? It's just the truth. It's just the truth. And so this Uranian Aquarian vibratory energy that has shifted into 2021, right? That has up-leveled the frequencies. It's an Aquarian Uranian new frequency, which is all about authenticity, truth, freedom, right? What do these things mean to you? How can you communicate this? How can you communicate this to your friends, to your family? In what ways are you communicating it? I would be curious to know. Gemini is really about seeking. It's about it's like they call it the butterfly or the bee, right? It's always kind of got its hands. If you know people who are Geminis, right? They're always kind of got their hands in something. They're like, this is, what's over here and what's over there. And I'm fluttering around and I'm trying to figure it out. And I want to know what's over here and I want to know what's over there. And they don't ever go super deep, but they're always around, kind of spreading. It's like a pollinator. Gemini is kind of like the pollinator, right? So that's part of the energy that's getting activated at this time. Not only that, but we also have a T-square, right? So we have the sun opposing the moon, sun in Gemini opposing the moon in Sagittarius. And it's this giant T-square, which is a huge triangle, okay? And it's the T-square is exactly at the end of Jupiter in Pisces. So what this all means, why this is significant, a T-square is a huge astrological aspect, which is a tension aspect. So there is a tension between Jupiter and Pisces, which really, to me, as I keep talking about the opening and the enlightenment and the shifting of our consciousness on this planet, Jupiter and Pisces is really, it's really the awakening of high level of spiritual awakening on this planet. It's squaring the moon, it's squaring the sun. And so there's a tension. There's a tension in how we're expressing this. There's a tension in how we're feeling it, whether or not we're trusting what we feel, because Sagittarius at its highest also really, it's ruled by Jupiter, and it rules faith and it rules trust. And, you know, really to be a spiritual person and to kind of truly evolve and to expand, you have to have faith. You have to have trust, because otherwise you're in a fear state that keeps you constricted, and it's very hard to evolve when you're in that state, right? Because we all know this is the journey of my life. I mean, I'm constantly challenging my fear body beliefs and my faith body beliefs, and actively choosing faith, right? In this new era, there's some big leaps of faith that we have to make, right? Right? It's like we have to make some new leaps of faith, like trusting in this new energy, trusting in this new frequency, and simultaneously letting go if we fall, because I think that it's okay. We're stumbling. We're working it out. We're creating as we go. We're creating with our beliefs. We're creating with our energy. But the most important thing is that we're moving forward, and we're putting our consciousness, we're putting our energy in systems and in things that we are ready to expand into, which is scary. It takes faith. It takes a lot of trust. Right? Do you guys have trust? Do you feel that you trust in a source? Do you feel that you are able to let go into that source? How far have you been able to let go? Have you been challenging your belief systems lately? All of this is creating a tension body, because Pisces is literally the etheric unity consciousness of the entire, it's spiritual consciousness, right? So there's spiritual consciousness, there's our trust and beliefs, and then there's how we communicate them. All of those are they're kind of tense, because we are entering a new era, a new frequency that is tough. It's tough to voice. You may seem a little weird. You may seem a little odd to have these new belief systems. Not everybody's going to be on board, right? You may be the weird one at the party, if there ever is a party again. You know what I mean? And, I just hung out with an old friend who I hadn't seen a long time yesterday. And, I definitely was the weird one. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh yeah, I've really become a lot weirder since I saw you like 7 years ago. Like, yep. But the thing with the T-square is the release point for the T-square. So the tension point, the tension aspect is at the Jupiter and Pisces. Jupiter and Pisces is the expansion of unity consciousness. It's really expansion of Jesus Christ consciousness, where we are completely identified with our spirit and love. It's like the state that happens to us when we detach from our bodies, right? And we have no fear. That the release point of that, it's in Virgo. So what I would say for this eclipse and this giant, this big astrological aspects, this T-square aspect, what Virgo is a mutable earth sign. I'm a Virgo. And it's a mutable earth sign. What are you create? It likes to work. The ethos of Virgo is work, and not just work for work's sake. Working towards something that fulfills you, working towards serving humanity, yourself, feeling good about what you're doing, creating, Virgo is the harvester, it is harvesting. It is working with it's all this spiritual knowledge, all of this new energy. What are you creating in the world with this new energy? How can you materialize it? Right? For me, like at this moment in time, this is how I'm materializing it. This is my version of working with this eclipse. I got the Gemini. I'm talking to you guys. I got the Sagittarius. We're talking about some spiritual concepts, right? And then I got the Virgo that's actually putting it out there, that's materializing it, right? And you know what, you guys? Any of us and all of us can create whatever we want now. It's such a beautiful time to be alive, because you can be whoever the hell you want. And you can change your identity every other day if you want to, because nothing is stuck. Nothing is fixed. Things are becoming etheric. We are starting to identify more with an etheric energy. And meaning, like, Ethereum, the cryptocurrency, is like been on the rise. Isn't that weird? Aren't these weird connections, right? Cryptocurrency, something that is etheric. things that are etheric, right? We're living on more of an etheric plane. So how can we take all of this new spiritual knowledge and all of this new spiritual energy and begin to put it into some kind of form, putting it into some kind of form? If everything I'm saying here today, you're like, okay. If this eclipse might become extremely exhausting and difficult for you, or you might just feel like, eclipses, no matter what, can do that, right? But if when we're in alignment with the energy and we're flowing, I think that it's a little bit easier. Like, for instance, today I woke up and I've been like working on all these things and I'm like, I'm ready to do this. I'm putting out a podcast. I've been wanting to do that for how many freaking years, right? I'm starting to do all these YouTubes, right? I'm like, I'm ready. I'm gonna start put myself out there. I don't know what, we can change, we can shift. It is such a beautiful time to be alive. Any of us can create anything we want at any time. I implore you, I challenge you to do this. We got some people saying some stuff here. Faith has been the most difficult and the truly accepting part. Trust, belief is so tough. That release to go there, I find such a strong support now. Yes. Wait, faith has been the hardest part. This is what Missy's saying. Trust, belief is so tough, right? It is. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting because it's so interesting how it's so difficult, because it's like, it's actually our natural birthright. Like, I know this is like, yeah, I know this is like the truth, but really, like, starting to take this stuff in, take it in, guys. Our natural birthright, we are naturally abundant, y'all. Like, we are of this earth. This planet is fucking beautiful. This planet is insane. It's gorgeous. It's so abundant. It's incredible. Are we separate from it? No, we are it. We are part of this earth. We are one with this earth, right? We are one, which means it is the natural flow of this planet and universe. I'm just working with the planet right now because Earth is so magical, but it's the natural flow of this planet to be abundant, it is, if we do not restrict the flow with our fear, which is what we've been programmed, faith is our MO. It's our modus operandi. It is the natural way. It is the natural wave, right? It is the natural way. And if we can start attuning to that truth, to allowing ourselves to reside in that truth, our entire reality will change. Our entire reality will change, because we have been so, and it's part of the masculine. It's part of the over rationality. It's part of the separation of the soul, that we have been so conditioned towards scarcity in our culture and our world, to believe that there's never enough and we have to squabble and fight, and that there's so many people on this planet that don't have enough. It's all bullshit. There's enough for everybody. And the more that we begin to open to that birthright, the more it will come to us, and it will decentralize away from these greedy motherfuckers that have been really just hoarding, and us all believing that they're hoarding it, right? Our belief systems create our reality. It's really, really, really that fucking simple. Hello, Carly. What did Marcia say? She says, I feel it. Sun in Sag, Ascendant in Aquarius, and Moon in Virgo. Oh, you know everything I'm talking about then, Marcia. Yeah. Ooh, Aquarius rising. Oh, yeah. This is really everybody here is witchy and alive and in tune. And so you guys are all feeling this eclipse. I'm curious to know how it's affecting you. Like, if you're resonating with what I'm saying, if anything specific has happened to you. I was just saying that yes, I was just saying that I woke up today and I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to create. I'm ready. I feel alive. I feel awake. I feel like I've been, I don't know, just like, I've been working through, like, it's, you guys know, I know you guys know what I'm talking about, when you're just like, I feel tired, I feel blocked, I feel cranky, I feel irritable. And it's like, no matter how psychic you are, it's like, I feel like our higher self always knows like what's going on with us, but our human self is like, I don't know what's wrong, But what I realize now is that what I feel deeply is that I myself and we are all part of these new stabilizing channels for this new frequency. And what I have been going through is like stabilizing into the higher vibration, right? Which is the abundant, prosperous, like life-giving, feminine, like a happy, like receptive. This is the energy of the new world. This is coming into alignment because we've been so out of alignment, right? So the frequencies are naturally rising, right? When I go back and I go back into the old world energy, right? And I start to feel fearful and scarcity and all these things and oh, I have to do this in order to be accepted or to be loved. That's when my vibration lowers, and I think that's when I get exhausted, right? And what's been happening and what's happening through 2021 is we're having this vacillation and this work to stabilize the new frequencies, Liz says, yes, felt way more clear and confident today and trusting the process of life. Isn't that interesting? Oh my goodness. I love it. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? We're all feeling this because Missy said the same thing. I wonder how Marsha and Carly are doing and Lisa. So the other main aspect that is happening on this full moon, on this full moon lunar eclipse, which it's like, after 2020 and now that the frequencies are getting heightened, you guys, we're going to be even more sensitive to the planets and because the cosmic energies are becoming more transparent. We're not as stuck in our materiality. We're becoming more etheric. So we're really, really in tune with the cosmic waves, the new currencies, the new frequencies, right? So Uranus rules Aquarius. Aquarius rules astrology. Why? Because it's a cosmic science. It's a cosmic science. We're cosmic beings. This is 1111 energy. Carly says feeling crazy. Yeah, yeah. So what else here? So the other big aspect on this full moon lunar eclipse is nonstop ear ringing, Carly says. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I feel like I wonder if you guys are having weird physical symptoms because we're in tune with the etheric energies. So yeah, that's very interesting. Okay. So ear ringing, I feel like is connected to frequency, right? You're hearing another frequency. It's like cats that can kind of see other dimensions because their vision is different because they're attuned to a different vision. It's like the same thing. Maybe that's what's going on with your ears. You know what I mean? So the other aspect that I want to talk about on this full moon is these Mars opposing Pluto. So the moon is opposing the sun. And then the Mars is opposing Pluto on this full moon. Mars opposing Pluto is intense. Okay, that's intense. Whatever's like working with the energies of Pluto. Pluto rules the deepest energies of transformation and regeneration, death, rebirth. Obsession. Freedom, it's, death and rebirth energy. What does that mean? It means are you holding? Are you releasing, right? Something going through a canal, the tension that comes along with that and the release, right? This new embodiment, right? That is Plutonic energy. The United States of America is actually having a Pluto return at this moment. It's happening now, which I think Pluto is 248 years and it travels around the sun every 248 years. 248 years ago, I think it's 248 years, was when the US was birthed. What does that mean? We are going through a kind of death, and I feel that. I feel like it's the death of capitalism. It's the death of the dollar. It's the death of hierarchies. It's the death of centralized power. It's so many deaths. And so many of us are starting to become liberated. We're actually coming out of cages, like lions, like these fierce ass lions. And we're like, what do we do with ourselves now that we are free? Right? I feel like that's kind of what's been going on, right? I feel like the past month, like up to this eclipse, I feel like that's kind of encapsulates the energy of what's been going on. Is like, I'm like, whoa, I'm free. I am free. And I'm like, what do I do with myself? You know what I mean? Fuck. I have to rely on only myself. I have to find all my spiritual wisdom from within. I have to connect to the creator on my own terms. Fuck. Everything that I've been fighting for and wanting, I got. Holy shit. Oh no. Now I have to find somebody else to, put my power onto or project my power onto, right? No. We're free, guys. We're free to create. We're free to be. We are in a complete rebirthing period right now. So it's okay if you feel unstable. It's okay if you feel uncertain. It's okay if you're unsure. It's okay. All of it's okay. All of it's okay. Okay. Just keep coming back to the new frequencies. Keep understanding that we are in a new energetic frequency. We are aligned with a new frequency. Keep aligning yourself with that. Keep believing in it. Keep knowing it. Keep attuning to it. This is what 1111 attunement is. This is what lunar attunement is. This is what my new shit is. This is the words that are coming to me now. Attunement. We're attuning to these. It's literally resonance. We're resonating on a higher frequency now. We're vibrating on a higher frequency, which means life is going to get easier. We're going to have more joy. We're going to have more freedom. Of course, we're going to be going up and down. But for the most part, we're staying up here, okay? Marcia says, I'm consciously allowing myself to ride any emotional waves of each day rather than excusing, ignoring, or misdirecting them. Hell yes. That's really important. I think that's really important because when in the old world, we would just stuff them down and not process them, which really we were sending ourselves the message that we're not worth it, right? We need to just shut up and stay in line and make sure everybody else is happy and not cause a scene, not cause ourselves a scene. Now that we're starting to face our truth, that's what I've been doing too. We're processing it. We're actually letting it through. The only way out is through. So then we can actually be free to attune to the new. When we ignore it, and it's this very, very, very fine line that I am always riding, because it's like, yes, you want to acknowledge your shadow. You want to acknowledge your truth. How long are you going to stay in that? Are you going to be in it, let it pass, and then allow yourself to vibrate higher? I mean, how long do I need to process something? Do I want to live my life in a way that is constantly feeling bad about something? Because that in the old world, I feel like I was an empathic woman that was always overly sensitive and feeling the pain of everyone and everything. And I was like, this is no life. This is no life to be constantly exhausted by the emotions of this world and feeling sad about them. So these days I don't ignore my emotions. I absolutely allow myself to feel them. I allow myself to face them, but I allow them also to pass. And I allow myself, my new MO, to be at a higher vibratory level so that I am genuinely feeling, I'm allowing myself to feel more pleasure. I'm allowing myself to feel more love, to feel more receptivity, to be more present, to be happier, really. And that's part of the abundant, prosperous paradigm. That's really part of it, I think as empaths in the old paradigm, and part of the whole thing was that it was like they banked on us feeling bad and not holding our power intact, right? In the new paradigm, I let it through, and then I allow myself to stay. I allow myself to stay at a higher vibratory level. So that's it, Carly says. So the Pluto opposing, I've been talking about how Pluto is in powerful worlds words. Thanks, Liz. So I've been talking about how the Pluto opposing Mars energy, right, is really powerful, and like how the US is in a Pluto return at this moment in time, right? So Mars is that energy that's like assertive, powerful, going for it. That's my dog. He has like some cough. Just going for it. And so Pluto opposing Mars, in opposition is like, they're kind of like in this dance where they're like charged, So the way that I would see that on a lunar eclipse is really like this deep energy from within. And, really what it is, it's creative energy. It's creative energy. That's what we're beings on this planet to create, right? It's powerful creative energy that lives inside of us. How are we letting it out? How are we letting it out? What are we doing with our energy? Because Pluto, you could be, Pluto is really about power. And unless it's regulated and observed, it can be power over others, power over the self. We can see it as obsession. What are we doing with our creative power, with our internal fire? What are we doing with it? What are you guys doing with your internal creative fire? And I'm speaking to this because I got 6 planets in fire in my astrology chart. And so like, I'm always dealing with my creative fire. I'm like, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I get excited. I'm Italian. I get excited. I have an Aries moon, right? I'm like, right. Strong Mars in my chart. And I'm always like, if I'm not, poor Nico, if I'm not creating something, in the midst of creating something, working towards creating something, I get depressed. I go internal. I like go, I'll kind of like start to feel bad about myself. Because for whatever reasons, I don't feel like I'm worthy to create. Blah, 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 blah. So I think in this, what this eclipse is about is it's asking yourself, what are you doing with your creative power? What are you doing with your creative energy? How are you dispersing it? What's the right words? How are you, not alignment, attunement. No. I can't think of the right word. How are you working with it in this new era? No, what's the word? Dispersing is all I can think of at this moment. How are you employing it, using it, exercising it? How are you working with it? What are you doing with it, right? Because there's receptive ways, right? A lot of us read, a lot of us, we do kind of like these empathic internal things where we receive, we take in a lot. Transmitting. Yes. Carly got it. Transmitting. Thank you. How are you transmitting it? How are you transmitting your creative energy? Thank you, Carly. Thank you. How are you transmitting your creative energy? That's the question. And that's the exact right word. The reason why that word was so important is because it's exactly linked to Gemini and Sagittarius. We're coming all the way around to this moment in time when I first started this, right? Coming all the way back around to the Gemini and Sagittarius energy, which is all about transmitting. Isn't it funny how these new words of this new era, the words that I keep using are frequency, currency, transmission, attunement, right? These are all the words that are kind of used with electricity, right? With frequencies, with vibrations, right? With transmission. So what are you doing with your creative power, your creative juju, your creative fire, right? What are you doing with that, right? So I would ask him, bring it home, Chase. Woo! This feels great. So feels great. I'm just like, it feels so good to embody the things that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to think, do you guys have any other questions about, all right, Nico, that might be it. It might be time to go. So is there any other questions? I'm trying to look at what else. Oh, the other thing that's going on this eclipse is that there's a lot of positive aspects towards Pluto. So I was just talking about Plutonic energy, right? This death rebirth energy that's so powerful, right? There's a lot of positive aspects. Like Pluto is trining the sun. the life force energy of this moment in time. It's trining, oh, that's the only aspect. It's trining the sun, but it's opposing Mars. But we also have Saturn trining the sun, which is like karma. So we're in a karmic, where the karma is aligned at this moment in time, you know? The karma is aligned to really start allowing ourselves to step out, to start stepping out, transmitting our creative fire. All right, hold on. Just hold on, Nico. Out. Get out. Go. It's so weird because when I start talking sometimes, like a lot, he starts coughing. He doesn't usually do that until I get like really excited. It's weird. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the karma of the time being aligned, right? There's a karmic ease to this moment in time, to this eclipse moment in time. And yeah. The question is, how are you transmitting the new spiritual frequency of this new era? How are you transmitting it? Oh, you rock, Chase. I have continued to learn and heal with your creations and transmissions. So grateful for you. Thank you, Carly. I feel like you've been a huge piece. I feel like we're all part of the same council. I feel like we're from the same place, Carly. You know what I mean? Because you just gave me that word, and that's the word of the whole thing. So, yeah, I would love to know how you guys have been, transmitting your creative juju, transmitting your creative power, how you are, love you, how you are, working with this eclipse energy, what projects you got on the horizon, what inspirations. But like I said, the release point is in Virgo, and where Virgo is really all about, it's about projects. Virgo is like about kind of weeding through the seeds, and like in its discernment, it's refinement. It likes to constantly be making things smoother, better, more refined, and creating. So yeah, that's the release point on this eclipse. So I think that's all the messages I have for you guys today. Just to tune in our shit right up there. Just to tune in ourselves. 1111. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Higher frequencies. Ding, 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 ding. Right? That's what's starting to happen. That's where we're operating. That's what we're operating at. Right? Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions? Thank you, Chaz. Thank you, Carly. Do you guys have any other questions? Do you have anything else you want to talk about, to know about before I wrap things up? I feel pretty good about this. I hope you're inspired. I hope you guys go out and really think about how you're transmitting your creative power, and how to keep yourselves elevated in the new frequency. How to keep it grounded, how to keep it elevated. Grounded, elevated, right? All right, y'all. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was wonderful to have you here. I'm so grateful that you guys show up and I get to hang out with you and we get to rap like this. It feels really fun. It feels really good to me. And I'm so happy that you guys made it. And, Liz says, you're remarkable. Love you. Now I know why this baby is stuck around in my uterus for so long before being born. Oh, yeah, because it's part of the whole creative. Interesting. Yes. I have a feeling maybe now, I just have a feeling that you're going to, maybe this is going to clear it for you. I think you're having an aha moment, and I think maybe now the waters will be parted. I have a feeling she's coming very soon. I have a feeling. I just have a feeling. I feel it. All right. I love you all. Love you so much. And have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Liz, keep me updated. I love you, ladies. Wonderful to see you. Okay.